Hi, this is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. I am here at the Collaboration Summit, session number 11. Our next guest on the summit is a little hot mess. She is one of my favorite people on the planet. And, I call her my little songbird because she's constantly like breaking out in the middle of a conversation in song. Those are just like some side notes, by the way. But she is actually a corporate trainer. She is a business owner, a multiple business owner. She actually has multiple books out. Has courses. She just did an amazing collaboration with a group of really awesome people. And I just want to welcome Kristi Bridges.
I am so honored to be here. Oh, Kim, I love everything that you have me do. I was telling my husband the other night, I'm like, there is not a thing Kim has asked me to do that hasn't taught me something or introduced me to amazing people or honed some skill somehow or given me ideas. And it's really cool because, boy, I tell you what, when you had us do that one sheet, I was fussing. Your ears might have been burning. But I knew that, it was going to help. And it really, I loved, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I loved being part of the collaboration group and actually doing the one sheet because of all the feedback and everybody else's examples and the conversations around our one sheets that made it easier. And of course, helped me to go back and fix it up to make it better.
I love it. Well, let's just start there. What did you learn? What did you like or dislike? What feedback do you have? What did you benefit from Collaboration 101 class?
Oh my goodness, what didn't I benefit? You know what's really funny is when we were in the Collaboration 101 class, I had already begun, I had gone to the collaboration challenge, the 5-day challenge. And that had given me, between that and just working with you personally, those had given me ideas for a collaboration that I did during the month of October. And I was able to, instead of just writing another book, which I totally could have done and had planned, I was able to invite people, several of whom I'd met through you, to write a book with me, which I think is going to be super powerful. But then in the class itself, I learned even more, and I sat down last weekend with a girl who is also a writer. She writes for magazines, and she's just finishing a novel. And we are going to build a class to teach people how to write novels. We're gonna do it differently because of what I've learned in the collaboration group and working with you. It's so neat because we sat down to talk and I had an idea, some ideas of what we were going to do. But in an hour, I think she wrote 4 pages in her notebook, and we had all these plans laid out because it just flowed so easily because you had taught us about how to make a plan, how to include breakup provisions, how to talk about costs ahead of time, and how to also how to do the classes in such a way that they're actually they attract more of an audience, and the audience keeps wanting to get more. So it was really, I tell you what, you've taught me so much, and I am really excited about the 2 collaborations I'm doing.
Well, thank you for all your sweet words, first of all.
Sure.
And I love that you're already putting other collaborations into place because your collaboration you were talking about in October called Option Ocean was amazing.
I really enjoyed it.
That was I would love for you to tell them more about it because I know that the collaboration part of it is closed as far as the submissions, but I would love for them to know what's coming out of it, what's going to happen because of it.
Absolutely. And people can still be a part of being our first 100 orders or, that kind of thing right now. And what we've done, let me just back up a little bit. The book is called Option Ocean. Now, I have a series of 31-day devotionals, and this is going to be one of the books in that series. And so it's a 31-day devotional. And it's for the 18 to 25-year-old, or honestly, anybody who's at a point in their life of transition when you kind of start to feel like you're drowning in that sea of possibilities. I can do anything. I can be anything. What in the world is that going to be? And, there are some principles that we can apply that actually will give us fulfillment and success and companionship. God made us to be his friends. He said, gosh, you know what? I want a Kim White. I'm going to make a Kim White because she's going to be so cool and I'm going to dig hanging out with her. And, he did that with each of us. And so he knows what lights us up. He knows the gifts that we have and the skills that we can hone and the things that make working feel like pleasure. But when I sang in bars cover songs, it was nice to get the attention for a while, but it wasn't fulfilling. When I wrote my own songs and sang with Goliath Down, that was just like lit me up. I wanted to go every time. And so there are different things that, we have gifts, but we also have drives. The book is a collection of people who have really interesting stories and journeys of personal discovery that they write. Each of them wrote a chapter. A couple of them wrote more than one chapter to kind of share what they learned about finding our identity in Christ and modeling ourselves, after him, after what the Bible tells us is wisdom, and using what the Bible tells us about ourselves and connecting with our creator, who made a Kim White because he wanted a Kim White and a Kristi Bridges because he wanted to hang out with Kristi Bridges. He made us for that purpose, so we get to connect with him. And then we can navigate well, and life is exciting. And even the tough times are bearable because we know we are on we're heading the right way.
I love it. And I love the people that have contributed because they are powerhouses. They are not just lightweights, we'll call them. They are people who are changing the world in and of themselves.
Yes.
And coming together in one book, one devotional. And I will challenge you with something that I don't agree with, though, with what you said. And that's the age group, because I think that it fits all of us. I think it was supposed to be for that age group, but I saw a lot of the writing, and I believe it's for 51-year-old princesses that still need to navigate well and still need to make good choices, and I just think it is not just a book for that age group. I think that this is something that would make a great Christmas present for any age group, actually.
I think you're right. And because one of the first exercises we did was write a letter to yourself, your 18-year-old self. And what you would expect people to say, don't do this, do this differently, fix this right away, things like that. And what I saw over and over again, and I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it, was you're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Stick to God, and he's going to show you your way out of this. And life isn't going to turn out the way you expect it to, but it's going to rock. And I just get choked up thinking about it, because I know in my 30s, there were times where everything I had worked for, gosh, at 25 even, there were times when everything I had worked for suddenly vanished. And I thought, oh my gosh, who am I? What am I doing? My whole life plan just went out the window. Different times in my life, I have felt that way. But as I've grown, I didn't have a book like this when I was younger, but as I've grown, I've seen that God has already been planting the path before me. He's already been laying the road, mm-hmm. so that I can walk in it. And We get that from a lot of the people in this book. These aren't 20 somethings writing this book and hoping. These are people who are, in their 40s and their 50s, and they have vibrant lives, and they can attest to the lessons that they're sharing. It's really neat. So yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're running through that time where you're like, suddenly I want to try, and I don't know where to start, then this is for you.
I love it. And I love that you are such a little powerhouse. You bring such joy to everything. And I am so proud of you being in the class and engaging, because again, the summit is for Collaboration 101 class graduates. And if you don't show up and you don't do the work, you don't get a pass.
Right.
Anyone that knows me knows you don't get a pass. Like, that is just not how I roll. And I think I know what all was going on in your world during the class, and yet you still showed up and did the work.
For a little while there, I was like, okay, 2019 New Year's resolution, don't overschedule. But you're right. This could have been something you videoed and stuck online and left people to do at their own pace. That wouldn't have been collaboration. And it wouldn't have probably gotten finished. I've actually bought a couple of courses and never finished them. So, this isn't one of those. This is one where you have to be engaged, and actually by being engaged, you find new collaborating partners, and you find new ideas, and you get really excited about what other people are doing. I love that.
One of the things about collaboration in general is that it brings clarity, and it brings people together in a different way than what you expect. I think that's the part that's really hard for me to talk about the class to other people, because someone who's new to collaboration or new to even my world does not understand with the words that I portray, I guess, like the power that's in the class, because so much is taught without being taught. Like, I'm not in there barking at you all to do this checklist. It's a thing of you guys are getting in the trenches with each other. Yes. And the one sheets and the feedback is a great example. That, to me, I feel like a proud mama bear, because watching everyone help everyone else, and the outcome, like the beautiful outcome of all those speaker sheets, is just, it's amazing. Now you have that for everything that you do.
It really is. And I've used the format for the plan a couple of times now. And I've used ideas, about doing interviews and different things repeatedly. The interview thing, oh, what a pleasure that is. And that's the simplest thing, but it's so fun. And, I'm sorry, but the work of a writer is kind of a lonely work sometimes. And being able to, you opened up a whole new world for me when you said, guess what? You can use other people and get more exposure and have way more fun. And, I spent 6 months building my first writing course last year, and it was 6 months of solitude. And I spent, nearly a year writing and publishing Wisdom Better Than Wishing. And that was a whole lot of solitude too. And I felt like, gosh, I have no more social life. And I went from, being on stage every night, to being alone. But now with collaboration, I have a whole different set of possibilities. It's way more fun.
Well, let me just say, because I have gone through your How to Write a Devotional class, and you are an excellent teacher. That is one of the things that I will say is totally your zone of genius. You are definitely a teacher that actually, has people participate. I think that's one of the differences is you have everybody doing things together in a collaborative way. You just didn't know that's what it was called.
Right. We are soulmates, I think, in some way. Because that's exactly what you do in your course. You get us involved with each other, which it totally, everybody, when I start a class, a lot of times people will come to me privately and go, I learn better hands-on. And I'm like, everybody does. So expect some hands-on.
Well, and that's the cool part about like anything that you do is it's definitely hands-on. So I want to know what your one thing is for this summit, because that's one of the things that I ask of everyone that was graduating is I want to promote them and I want to promote one thing. And the reason it's only one thing, just so that anyone listening can understand, I'm not limiting you all on your awesomeness, because there's lots of things you all are awesome about. But when you promote one thing, it's so much more impactful. And
Yes.
So I want to hear what your one thing is that you want to promote on this session.
Sure thing. And it's so easy to talk about everything because you've been there for so much of it. I mean, well, for all of it, honestly. But no, I really want to just let people know that the book is being finished and then it's going to publishing. So it's going to take a little while, but I'm expecting at the first of the year for it to be published, early part of 2019. It's going to be the perfect graduation gift for anybody who's on your graduation list. But also, just like Kim said, any age, we go through times where we have an identity shift. We suddenly aren't sure who we are, where we're going. And this is for that person. So if it's you or if it's somebody go ahead and pre-order. You can pre-order at One Moment Wiser on Facebook or onemomentwiser.com.
And I definitely want you to put that in the comments so that it's easy for them to find.
You bet.
I think that, how much is the book going to be?
That's a good question. I think it's 12. I should have probably looked that up.
I love it. Well, whatever it is, it's like very inexpensive for all the work that went into it. I will say that.
Absolutely. And if you're one of the first, if you do the pre-order, we'll be taking pre-orders obviously until it's released. But if you do the pre-order, you'll get a handwritten letter from one of the writers to the person that you're giving this book to. So if you want to include a comment with your pre-order, if you want a letter for you, I think that's awesome. But if you're ordering for somebody else, just put a comment in there for who we should address that to, because I would love to just share God's heart personally with that person.
I love that. And how about this? I will write 10 letters for you to, like, if they tell who, I will do those if anyone's interested in buying, but you have to pre-order like this week so that I know. Like, that's the thing, is so that I know and while I can get it done. So if anyone orders and wants a letter from me to the person they're giving the book or to themselves, I will definitely do that.
I think that's wonderful. Kim has so much wisdom to share, guys.
Well, and you challenged me with this, writing chapters, and I was going in a different direction because I wasn't sure what I was going to write about. And then you sent me stuff that I had even forgotten about my own self. And it was so funny because it's like, wow, that's really cool,
You share some of the most powerful stories, and I think I remember all of them, which is really rare because even my mom has to tell me her stories more than once.
Well, I thought it was awesome that you did that because I definitely wanted to support you, but I wanted to also be impactful. I don't think that, and I guess when you were saying collaboration, like how fun it is and how fun it is to work together, it is so effective while you're having a good time.
Yes.
the effective part is amazing to me. And I think your book is an example of that. How
Yeah.
effective and impactful all those stories, intertwined together make for an impact.
I agree.
It's just, oh my goodness, I just love you. So, do you have anything else you want to share about like collaboration in general?
I would like to, about what?
Or your zone of genius in collaboration?
Ooh, okay, so yes, that is actually a great hint. So I've been doing this series on the zone of genius, helping our group. And, Cheryl, who was just on at 9 o'clock, was talking about the skill set that she's offering to people as is it a general VA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that is tremendous because not everybody is good at organization. Not everybody wants to sit there with, sending out Calendly links or, sending out, doing the little promotional pictures and things like that. That's not for everybody. Not everybody can remember all the things to do. And that girl is on it. She is so organized. And it's so cool to be able to work with people who have various strengths. And maybe sometimes there's a job that has to be done and you just got to do it. But for the most part, if you can stay in doing what you're really good at and let them do what they're really good at, then you come together, you have something better than you could have had on your own. And I really have enjoyed that.
I think it's amazing, like just to look over the summit and see what everyone is doing, like
Yes.
in such a short time. Because the class is 6 weeks, and during that 6 weeks, all this stuff happened. Like, and it almost seems like, how can that be when people have struggled for months and years to do something? But it really does have to do with the working together.
People have networking groups, and I get invited occasionally to networking groups where everybody does the same thing, or where everybody is complete strangers and so nobody knows what to talk about. And in a group where you're working together on stuff and you're, Kim, you bring the most unusual people. So you have this good variety of people who have come to learn something. And they're not there because it's an interest group and they're all doing the same thing. And they're not there just to meet people and tell them about their own business, but they're actually there to work on something together. Then you get all these people with different skills and with different types of businesses, with different stories to tell. And that really adds a richness to it.
Well, and I love that you bring that up as far as, everybody's not doing the same thing. Everybody's not in a cookie cutter situation when they come into collaboration class. Everyone is doing something actually very different, most of them. But when you come together, what amazing stuff.
It really is. And, some people don't know what they're doing yet. You have this beautiful talent for finding people who have that spark. They have that, potential just like burning right here, and helping them, giving them things that they can do, introducing them to people they can work with, talking to them and honing and helping them get clarity. And I love the way you've actually, in this class and in other things that you've done, like my Sexy Business Club, you've given people opportunities, hey, I need help with this. They do it and they start to get good skills and they're like, oh my gosh, I love doing this. And, so that actually can help them figure out what their business is supposed to be about. In fact, I love so much the teaching thing, and you've been telling me all along, you are just a perfect teacher, that I actually have a whole idea for a series of courses now. So, it's, and the collaboration, writing challenges are part of that, but it's neat to see people discover themselves in this process.
Well, and you're definitely one of my little poster children, I'll call you, because you have gone from not knowing for sure what you wanted to do to absolutely rocking in so many ways. And I'm so proud of you because you have been doing the work. I mean, we can talk all day long about fluffy stuff, but if you don't get in and do the work and you don't do the things that it makes to make it happen,
Yeah.
it's still just words. And you have definitely shined with the work that you've put out. So I'm super proud.
Well, thank you. I can reflect the same thing back to you. Although you started before I did, but yes.
Well,
Thank
and
you so much.
you're welcome. If anyone's listening and they would like to pre-order Kristi's collaboration book called Option Ocean, I do hope that you get on and order it because it is very impactful. It'll be a very impactful gift. And let's face it, guys, it's not very much money to impact a lot of lives. The cost of a book is pretty minimal when you think about the value that's inside in the devotional. It's pretty powerful. So thank you for being on today, Kristi, the summit, and thank you for talking about collaborating in a huge way with your book.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you, Kim, and God bless you. I can't wait to be part of your next thing.
Thank you. If you're watching, we will be back at 11 Central Standard Time for the next session of the Collaboration Summit. This is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. We'll see you in the next session.
Bye.